Yeah, so let's pick back up where we were yesterday and talking about the choices and decisions that we make. Galatians 5:16 and 17 says, But I say, in Paul's writing here, he says, But I say, walk and live habitually in the Holy Spirit, responsive to and controlled by and guided by the Spirit. Then you will certainly not gratify the cravings and desires of the flesh, which is human nature without God. For the desires of the flesh are opposed to the Holy Spirit, and the desires of the Spirit are opposed to the flesh, which is a godless human nature. For these are antagonistic to each other, continually withstanding and in conflict with each other, so that you are not free, but are prevented from doing what you desire to do. So it's against our human nature, which we talked about a little bit yesterday, defined as our human nature without God, to defy the flesh and follow the Holy Spirit's instructions. And the desires of our flesh are in opposition to the desires of the Spirit. The only thing that can truly motivate us to say no to self is to love something else more. Think on that. That's why our obedience in doing God's commands must be an act of worship. It must be our response for His incredible love for us. Here is where the paths diverge. Are we living to serve self or spirit? You will not serve both. You can have one master in Matthew 5. We're already right here. Matthew 6, actually, 6:24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will stand by and be devoted to one and despise and be against the other. You cannot serve God and man, or whatever is trusted in. You can't serve God and something or someone else. And so, are we living to serve self or spirit? His love has called me, and my heart has found the truth of that love. I have experienced His faithfulness more times than I can recount. He has kept me, preserved me, guarded me, and held me. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So, we read the Word. We find out that He has a way of doing and being right. Do we choose to do it? We choose to just go on about our way and check that box off for our Bible reading. James 1:22-25 says, But be doers of the word, obey the message, and not merely listeners to it, betraying yourselves into deception by reasoning contrary to the truth. For if anyone only listens to the word without obeying it and being a doer of it, he is like a man who looks carefully at his own natural face in the mirror, where he thoughtfully observes himself and then goes off and promptly forgets what he looks like. I can relate to this passage on so many levels. First of all, this is funny. When I wrote this, I had two kids. I thought I knew then, but I really know now. First of all, as a mother of four young, very active little boys, there are days when I look at myself in the mirror and think there is not enough help to fix what is going on there. My sister for Christmas that year gave me a little makeup towel that says, Yes, I'm still in my pajamas, but the kids are alive. Now tell me I'm pretty. No, I don't stay in my pajamas all day, but as transparent as I can be with you, some days I'm looking for bedtime way too early. That's still true. And I have felt like my only accomplishment was keeping us all alive and healthy for one more day. Have you ever felt like me, looking into the mirror and thinking there's just not enough help for this hot mess? Not just speaking of our physical appearance, but spiritually speaking too. Have you ever thought, like me, I'm in too deep. There's no way I can pull out now. I've done too much. There are too many scars. Nobody could love past this. Have you ever thought the war between your flesh desires and His Spirit was too hard to fight? All it takes is a choice. Just one step in a different direction, and it will change the course of the rest of your life. This is actually on the next day, but if you think about the trajectory of a missile or an airplane, a shift of the smallest degree will change the course and destination. So is it time to change our course? One decision is all it takes to change our destination. We don't have to do it all at one time. We think about that airplane. Even if flight plans are only shifted 1 degree at a time, over the course of 8 to 10 shifts, the place of landing has been altered significantly. And so, if we desire to move from following the advice, plans, purposes of the ungodly, their counsel, or sitting silent and submitting in the place where sinners walk, where they live their lives, or gathering, making ourselves comfortable with the scornful and the mocker, all it takes is one choice to change our course. And so, like we were talking about, all the big stuff that we know about, or those clean sin, which are still filthy in the Father's eyes, is that Holy Spirit shine light on it. So now we recognize that this is a problem. And so we begin to say, Holy Spirit, help me. I don't want this spot in my life anymore. And He does. It's a choice. It's a seed which bears fruit. And we'll pick up here tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.